Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to a new episode of Inspirational Brands Make in India. Through this series, we put the spotlight on various business verticals that are contributing significantly to the government's Make in India mission. On this episode, we'll take you through the journey of a company that's deriving scientific-based dietary ingredients from food chain raw materials through revolutionary patented technology. Take a look. With changing lifestyles leading to rising health concerns, more and more people are opting for healthy dietary foods and supplements to manage their health and wellness. And one of the leading players in the dietary supplements market that's enabling a healthy living for everyone is Indus Biotech. Headquartered in Pune, Maharashtra, Indus Biotech was founded in 1995. Today, Indus Biotech is revolutionizing the industry with its innovative solutions based on dietary ingredients derived from food chain raw materials. And now I'm in conversation with the Managing Director of Indus Biotech, Mr. Sunil Bhaskaran. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bhaskaran. It's a pleasure to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me in this program.
Let's take it from the top. Indus Biotech was founded in 1995 and the company has been in business for over 2 decades. Could you take us through the initial years of your company?
It's an interesting question. I need to give a little history about the startup of the company.
Yes.
The original vision of Indus Biotech was to address chronic diseases. When I say chronic diseases, the diseases which are there lifelong. So there was a paradigm shift required to handle this when we started the company in 1995, because most of the modern medicine, you have a very powerful molecule which will put out an infection in about 6 days or 10 days.
Right.
You have a very powerful medicine, but the medicine, if you give on a chronic basis, on a continuous basis, it will leave metabolites which will damage many parts of the body. So we said the paradigm shift will come only by using safe molecules. So we said, where do you get safe molecules? We get safe molecules from food chain raw materials. And why food chain? Because food we eat in large quantities all over the world, 30 grams, 40 grams, 50 grams, every day you are eating. So the molecules coming from food chain, probably they don't do any harm to the body. They provide nutrition. They also manage many of the metabolic processes. So that was the genesis of startup for Indus Biotech.
So Indus Biotech has been enabling a healthy living through its innovative and evidence-based consumer healthcare products. What have been some of your key milestones?
So we chose initially such food items which have a very good history of preventive use or a medicinal use. So we chose something like fenugreek, methi, and methi is very well known in this subcontinent. Our idea was to apply science to fenugreek seed and bring out what exactly within fenugreek, what is the composition or the group of molecules which are doing this. So we applied science and came up with products which can take care of diabetes, that is blood sugar management, and also which can take care of body composition by managing fat. In the process, we also developed many more other molecules which could address autoimmune disease, and we got another molecule which can address Parkinson's, which was not known in earlier for fenugreek.
Yes.
We also looked at another very famous spice, which is cinnamon. We call it dalchini, which is used in our preparations, like biryani and all those things. So cinnamon is also very well known from biblical times for warding off infections. So we found there are interesting molecules in cinnamon which can be used for immunity. It can stimulate immunity, it can also suppress immunity. And third item we looked at is gotu kola. It is known as brahmi. It is a kind of a shrub which is used in Southeast Asia as a vegetable. And we have found a very interesting molecule which can stimulate your central nervous system. And we have developed a product which can be used for anxiety and depression out of that. And all these three are well known with prior art for protection, for some medicinal properties. That is where the challenge comes to get a patent. Because patent will require novelty, and it has to have innovation. And if it's already prior art, how do you get patent? That's a challenge. Though we chose these well-known products with a lot of prior art, we could come up with novel molecules, composition of molecules, which could mitigate some of these diseases. So we have about over 160 patents spanning fenugreek, cinnamon and gotu kola. And many of the patents are taken in very difficult jurisdictions like United States, Europe, Japan, Australia and such countries like that.
So how do you think the dietary supplements market has evolved in India over these years, and what are its key growth drivers?
India did not have a proper regulatory mechanism. Though Ayurveda was very popular, a lot of products based on Ayurveda was being sold, but dietary supplements was not very popular because we did not have a proper regulation. In fact, Amway came with Nutrilite, their nutrition and dietary supplement products. Herbalife came in. But subsequently, the last year, the FSSAI came up with a nutraceutical supplement regulation. With this, the dietary supplements have been legalized properly in India, and we are finding a lot of products coming from the Western world, and also a lot of products of homegrown products also getting popular here. And this is also promoted by one more reason, that is with the advent of internet, most of us want to take the wellness preservation into our own hands.
Right. So
we read, we understand, for example, you understand that Indian gooseberry, avla, is very rich in vitamin C.
Yes.
And vitamin C is a very good antioxidant.
Absolutely.
So most of us want to eat avla, but avla is seasonal. You don't get it around the year. So we look for products which are based on avla and we take it. So people are now taking care of their own wellness, their own health by taking supplements.
So you source your raw materials from verified and validated suppliers. Could you talk to us about your product portfolio?
So I talked to you about, we only deal with 3 raw materials, that is fenugreek, cinnamon and gotu kola.
Right.
Fenugreek, India is the biggest grower, mostly in Rajasthan, Gujarat, part of Gujarat, UP and Madhya Pradesh. So we source it from there, and we are one of the biggest processing company of fenugreek in the world. We process over 1,000 metric tons in a year. And what we do is that the fenugreek which we buy, we don't buy directly from the farmers. We buy from an aggregator based out of the farm area where he gets the fenugreek. He puts through an initial processing of cleaning. They do cleaning to make sure that it's only fenugreek seed, it's not contaminated with other seeds. Then we do a sorting through a sortex machines to make sure that the seeds are graded, based on the maturity and color, and we get this kind of thing. This is important for our US market because we have a huge business doing B2B in US market where we need to make sure that there is no allergen contamination. Other allergens are not part of fenugreek, and also we need to give a DNA barcoding, fingerprinting of the raw material.
Right.
So we take care that the fenugreek is very good. We also source cinnamon from Sri Lanka. There's a special kind of cinnamon which is grown in Sri Lanka, which is very popular. And gotu kola, though it's grown all over the world, we prefer to source it from Madagascar, where we have good active ingredients in the raw material.
Right. So what is it that differentiates your brand from other brands in the market?
Products USP is that we are probably one of the few companies in the world where our products are clinically tested. We are a clinically tested product. We normally have at least 2 clinical testing which are published in peer-reviewed journals. Besides, though these are food chain raw materials, our extracts are subjected to a battery of toxicological studies as prescribed by US FDA. So we do acute oral toxicity, we do a 90-day repeat dose toxicity, we do Ames testing, we do chromosomal aberration testing. This is all required for an FDA product which has to, which goes on to become a prescription product. So this is there. That is the second USP of the product. And third USP is that though these are produced from very expensive raw materials, we are able to give an affordable product to our customers.
Right.
They are therapeutically consistent, they are very safe, and they are highly efficacious, still affordable.
Lately, young and aging population is looking for cure in dietary and herbal supplements. What do you think has created this awareness around preventive healthcare?
I think I would imagine 2 reasons.
Yeah.
One reason is if you look at the Western world, the healthcare is becoming very expensive. Same thing is happening in India.
Right.
You know, for example, people are scared to go to a hospital because if you go to a hospital, you know that you are detained there and you are subjected to various tests and, you know, observation, and you get a very fat bill. So the young and aging population, with the advent of internet, knowledge has become free and is freely accessible. People can go and read, see a lot of published studies, and see a lot of medicinally active products which can fix many of the diseases.
Right.
So they read about it and they look for products which are safe, they look for products which have clinical support, and they try to use it themselves. So self-medication is, you know, becoming a norm today.
And now, to promote India as a global manufacturing hub, Prime Minister Modi launched the Make in India campaign. As a homegrown player, what are your thoughts on the Make in India campaign, and how are you contributing towards the Make in India campaign?
In fact, we welcome this initiative. We are fascinated by the opportunity provided by Make in India campaign.
Right.
Because we sell products in US, and we have seen traditional Chinese medicine being sold in US. It's huge. Whereas the traditional health products of India being sold in US is not even 1/10 of what China sells in US. So we see great opportunity to popularize many of the traditional health products, because our Ayurveda is rooted 3,000 years old, scriptures, and we have fantastic products. What we need to do is bring the overlay of modern science to that and make it available. So the Make in India is a good platform for producers and manufacturers like us to tap into Indian food chain raw materials and Indian herbal products and bring out the science behind that and make it attractive to the world population, so that people can live longer, they can preserve their youthfulness, and they can prevent the aging.
On that note, we'll take a short break, but don't go anywhere, as the conversation with the Managing Director of Indus Biotech continues on the other side. Stay tuned. Indus Biotech's manufacturing facility is located in Pune, Maharashtra. The manufacturing facility employs state-of-the-art technology that helps obtain and purify natural extracts. The process of purifying and standardizing the biomass to form the finished product is carried out through a proprietary platform technology. The food chain raw materials are produced from authentic and validated sources, following the strict GMP guidelines to prevent adulteration at any point. Welcome back. You're watching Inspirational Brands Make in India, and I'm in conversation with the Managing Director of Indus Biotech, Mr. Sunil Bhaskaran. Let's talk about your manufacturing facilities now. You have two manufacturing facilities. How technologically advanced or equipped are these facilities, and what are their production capacity like?
Both our facilities are world-class, state-of-the-art, and they're conforming with the accreditations being done in the US. For example, we have NSF accreditation. We also get occasionally audited by US FDA. Once we talk about natural products, it's also very pertinent to explain to you molecules in nature. See, nature produces molecules by way of phytochemicals in plant. And many of the phytochemicals during the development of the plant, whether it's a seed or a bark, what happens is the molecules get combined with other molecules. And most of the plant have sugar, plant sugar. Plant sugars can be xylose, and these plant sugars combined with the main molecule. So what we get from plant is a complex molecule, that is a phytochemical combined with some glycosides. We call it glycosides. So we need to extract this very, very carefully, because many of these glycoside bondings are very labile, very mild bondings. So during the time of extraction, they can get broken. So it is no more the original molecule as nature prepared it.
Right.
So we need to prepare it in a very, very safe and in a gentle way by using solvents which are not dangerous. So we use alcohol, cane alcohol, and we use water. So water and cane alcohol in various composition mixtures, we use it to take out the molecules into a liquid format. And once you are shifted into a liquid format, we use molecular sieve methodologies, molecular separation based on size, shape, and molecular weight to separate these molecules. So once you have it in a matrix of a solvent, we need to remove the solvent by distillation. So we do a very, very low temperature distillation, remove the solvent, we get the solid, and the solid is stabilized. Various methods of drying are used. So we use a very, very highly sophisticated methods of manufacture.
So how are you leveraging technology and innovation to achieve quality and excellence in your products?
So one is we have a continuous improvement of our technology for manufacture, where one is we are trying to make sure that the human intervention is becoming lower and lower, because human intervention, where if it's based on judgment, you make mistakes. So everything is based on measurement. That is one thing we do. And second, we have developed very sophisticated methods of purification and separation, because many of the molecules present in the original raw material may be 0.5%, 1% or 2%. So when you make an extract of a 10,000 liter, the content will be few grams. So you need to extract it, purify it very properly. The way I told you earlier, it's nature, true and isolate.
Right.
We call it natrusolate. That is our platform technology. So we are leveraging modern techniques of analytical and modern methods of separation and modern methods of drying to get these molecules out into a dosage form which the customer can use.
Indus Biotech products are backed by strong clinical and scientific evidence. Therefore, R&D is core to your line of business. How are you maximizing R&D to strengthen your brand?
So the chemistry and manufacturing control is completely done in-house, and that is based on a proprietary manufacturing technology we have. And wherever we need to do elucidation of molecule using NMR techniques, we go out and outsource that. As far as pharmacology is concerned, we have collaborated with a teaching university in Pune to do pharmacology, where animal pharmacology is done.
Right.
Toxicology, we work with GLP toxicology labs and establish the toxicology of the product. This is all preclinical, animal pharmacology, animal toxicology.
Right.
After the preclinical work, when you move into the clinical work, we use CROs and do the clinical work. The clinical testing. We do right now the testing in Baylor University in US, and we also do in Australia with Queensland University. We do these two places as a prime place for conducting clinical trials. For the scientific work concerning the biology, we have a collaboration with National Taiwan University and Hospital in Taiwan, where we do most of the scientific work of binding, the protein binding, finding out what is the IC50, EC50 and all things like that.
Now you have a wide array of patents in different overseas markets. Are you also looking to expand into newer geographies?
What we have done is we have created patents for geographies where there is a healthy patent protection. So we have it for Europe, we have it for US, we have it for India now, we have it for China, and we have it for Japan, Australia and other some jurisdictions. Right. Where we also see a huge market opportunity for our products. And we will continue to have patents in these jurisdictions, and we'll also vigorously defend our patents in these jurisdictions.
Before I let you go, my last question is about your future plans for the company. What is your vision for the company, and where do you see it in the next 5 to 6 years?
Our vision is that today people are taking control of their health and wellness management.
Right.
And people also knowing that there is an evolutionary memory between plant and humans. So the phytochemicals plants synthesize for their own protection are equally well applicable to human beings. So more and more phytochemicals based products are being embraced by consumers for protection of their health and wellness. And we see a huge opportunity in this segment because we are ahead of other companies because of our proprietary platform technology to isolate molecules and stabilize them, because of our clinical trials and because of our patents. And we already have a good name for very robust manufacturing that is approved by US FDA. So we propose to monetize all our patents. We have over 180 patents in various jurisdictions. Right now our goal is to become a marketing company, make these products available to the consumers so that the consumers' longevity of life, their quality of life will improve significantly.
We wish you all the best for your future endeavors, and we hope that you achieve your vision soon.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me in this show.
Thank you so much for being on the show with us today.
Well, that's a wrap on this episode of Inspirational Brands Make in India. But do join us again on the next episode where we'll take you through the journey of another inspiring business. Until then, goodbye and thanks for watching.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.